Hi there, I'm Tom from Simpli-Fi Cloud. I'm just here today to give you a quick rundown on the data migration wizard for the PPM service contracts, ServiceM8 add-on. The reason we created this is a lot of people found the moving of all their existing recurring jobs into here a bit of a stumbling block, a lot of work to get through. So this should take a lot of the hard work of that out for you. So it works in quite a nice simple way. We take an export of your existing recurring jobs in ServiceMate, create a CSV file, which then gets uploaded into the wizard here. We do a bit of matching of some fields. We then create a new CSV that is exported. You've then got all the time in the world you like to play around with that, make sure that all the start dates, end dates are all correct, the assets are in the correct place, and contract values are all correct. We then save that out and import that back into the migration wizard, and then we're ready to go. Okay, so let's get cracking. You'll find if you've still got the getting started guide up here that we can just hit the start migration button here. Alternatively, it can be found under settings. If we scroll down to the bottom, there it is. So I'll hit it here, but they both work exactly the same. So this first page here is just trying to sort of say to you, it's all right. Nothing to worry about. 5 simple steps here. I've probably made it sound quite scary, but trust me, it's really straightforward. So I'm just going to crack on through and see how we go. So let's get started. So first things first, we need to export your existing job CSV from ServiceMate. Now it's telling you at the top here, that can be found under reports, then export in the bottom left, and then recurring jobs list. So over to ServiceMate, up at the top, reports. And then down at the bottom, we have export and recurring jobs list. Now you might find this option isn't here. If that isn't here, it's because you need to turn on the advanced reporting add-on in ServiceMate. It's free and you can find it under the store. If I just go here quick. So advanced reporting. There we are. So that one, if we turn that on, if you then go back to your reports, either refresh or give it 5 minutes and refresh, you'll find at the bottom here, recurring jobs list. So I'm going to hit that. That has then created a CSV file ready for me to use in the wizard. So back over to here, we can either drag it straight in or browse for it. So I'll drag that in now, upload and continue. Now what we've been given here is the opportunity to map our job names. So ServiceMate subject, this is the job template title. So I've just got a small set of sample data over here, just set this up today just for the purposes of showing you what's what. So we only have one type of job template in here, which is the intruder alarm PPM. If you did have a lot of others, say alarm service PPM, intruder alarm service, etc., etc., you might want to reconcile them, make them all one new friendly name. You can rename them all the same description inside PPM if you like, and that might make things a bit easier going forward. But as we've just got the one, I'm copying it across. So save and continue. Now we have our customers. As I say, just a bit of sample data for me. So there's just 2 customers here. Obviously, if you've got hundreds, thousands, you'll see them all here. And now is your opportunity to make sure they are the correct client for the correct site. So Bob's Potatoes here, and the site is the same site. So if it's a small customer with a simple site, then we can probably just leave this ticked. However, if it was a customer with multiple sites, you could untick this and then search for another site. And this will give you real data straight out of your ServiceMate account. So it will be searching your site. So I'll leave that as Bob Potatoes and Bob's Potatoes, and Honest John's Motors and Honest John's Motors. Now, save and continue. We've done that. So now what it wants to do is to generate a CSV template for us to export. So I'll hit that. It's created the template, and now I need to hit this download to download it. So now we've got this over here. Okay, so now we've created the CSV export. Let's have a look at that. So when it opens up, you'll find there are 4 sheets. There are instructions, contracts, assets and schedules down at the bottom. So the instructions page, really, really useful, guides you through every single step of the way. Any of the terms in there, if you're unsure what they mean, come back here. It will tell you in plain English what we're on about. You should find you can work through. So if you get stuck back, come back here. Anyway, so looking on the first page here, we have the contracts. Now, I've created some sample data, so there are 2 customers. Obviously, you can have hundreds here or thousands, whatever it is you happen to have. The contract number at the beginning here, you'll find that this ties in between each one of the sheets. So between contracts, assets, and schedules, those contract numbers remain there. So they're the bits that tie things together. So when you're filling the various details in, make sure that that matches. Okay, so contract number 1 is intruder alarm service with Bob's Potatoes, and it starts on this day. Right, so that's wrong. I need to change that for this year, and this one here for this year also. The contract term is set to annually currently, so I'll change the billing frequency to match up to that. Obviously, if your contract term or billing frequency are different, use these to alter this around. Contract value, how much does it sell to the customer for? So that one's £67, this one's £45. You can set the billing timing to either be in arrears or in advance. And then this one at the end here, skip job creation. Now this is a yes no, so if you handle your billing outside of ServiceM8, you want to select yes here. That just means PPM will not create a job to bill for the contract. So it will still look after all of the jobs for the maintenance, but it will not create a job to bill the customer for the renewal. So as we do our billing within ServiceM8, we'll leave those as no. Move on to assets. So this is, what is it? What is the thing that is being serviced? So it is a security system on both of these. These asset types are pulled out of PPM, so you need to make sure that these are set up ahead of starting this whole process, and that is all covered in the prerequisites at the beginning. Our schedules, here we have contract 1, recurrence of annually. We could say monthly, it's every 6 months it happens to be, or whatever, but I'll leave that as annually. They're both set to once a year with a start date, which is all correct. Now the last thing to do is to select the final column here, schedule template. So if we hit there, we get a drop down of your templates. Now these are imported from PPM itself, and it's part of the prerequisites when we set that up there. So the schedule templates handle job descriptions, badges to be assigned, checklists, all that sort of thing. So we get those set up first, then when we're working through the wizard here, your templates will be in the list. So I will select these ones and carry on and save. Back to the migration wizard. So here's where we were. We continue to upload, at the bottom, and then upload that file and verify. So here we have our 2 contracts, there are the assets, and these are their schedules. So that's all correct. We confirm, and that is it. We now have our first 2 contracts inside PPM.